And we're back for game number 2 of this best of 3. LGD International taking on Orange. Orange looking to punch their ticket out of Phase 3. A win here today secures them a place in the finals, no doubt about it. LGD, though, looking for some payback. However, their history against Orange checkered at best. In fact, checkered implies that there's another color. In fact, it's been very one color, and it's all been Orange all the way every time these teams have met. 6 straight games now. Orange has bested LGD International. 1 best of 3, 1 best of 2 in March. And now the first game of this best of 3 going their way as well. I'm AC, joined by Puppy for the broadcast. And Puppy, I'll tell you what, man, Orange looked great. They just seemed to completely get what LGD was trying to make happen at game number 1, and they just countered it at every single turn.
Yes, I think the core playing right now is the supports of Orange just doing everything right, but it really doesn't matter. Ohio is playing a perfect game. The Stinker is KYXY is great. Everybody's playing good, and that's what it takes to beat a good team. So let's see what's happening in this game. Right from the bat, actually, I want to say right now that Orange, they are banning Batrider, and they have first pick. I see this as a weakness, to be honest. This will not work for them in the long run. If they will have to sacrifice a Batrider just because they don't like that hero that much for themselves. So, but they take the Magnetar, and you can see 2 heroes that are picked up that aren't even Nyx Assassin, isn't anything Coddle, isn't even Rubik or any Nyx. Nyx was banned even, but Clockwork and Shadow Demon.
Yeah, the Shadow Demon pick I can grasp. I mean, obviously getting 2 picks. Shadow Demon comes out so early that doesn't bother me. Clockwork, I'm kind of with you, though. I mean, Orange runs a lot of heroes, and they can run a clock, but, I mean, with the Magnus first picked up to begin with, and, you know, I can't help but agree with you, man. It just seems a little bit odd. Nyx Assassin not going to be available to Orange if they want to go in that direction. Keeper of the Light, as you had mentioned, is going to be there. Ohio on Magnus is fantastic, and he loves to take that hero mid, so I would say very, very high probability that's where he's going to wind up. But if nothing else, wow, they're just going to bounce back with a Shadow Fiend second pick, but it will be followed up with what I think we both expected, the Nyx Assassin.
I was expecting something, maybe a Nyx Assassin Weaver pick, because I think Weaver is a phenomenal hero with Magnus. This 50% damage for him it really matters, because he doesn't really build up damage items until the end. You know, you get your Manta Style, you get your Bracelet Treads. If you give him that 50% damage, he will deal a lot of damage and kill everybody in front of his face.
Absolutely, and like you said, it's the more typical ways to build Weaver tend to be much more survivability oriented. I mean, obviously he's going to get a little innate attack damage off of something like a Manta Style just because he is an agility hero, but I mean, being able to reliably have a boost that you would normally not get until after the survivability is built just gives him even more split push potential. I mean, the mobility of the hero and his ability to contribute to team fights comes out a lot earlier, and that I would say the same thing goes for Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend, a hero that has to be protected early on, and we saw that show itself in game 1. In fact, LGD seemed to be off to a great start, and it looked like Mushi was going to be having at least a harder time in game 1 than he would have liked, but one good turnaround in an extended team fight under their own Tier 1 helped him get back on track. But I would say that's going to have to be one of the big points of pressure, points of interest for LGD coming in. They can't let Shadow Fiend just find himself in a good position in the mid game again, because by the time we reached the end, he had his Shadow Blade and so on. He was just right-clicking everyone to death, and even though he was still very vulnerable, he only had the BKB to really rely on for survivability. Just the disruption from Shadow Demon, which of course they're not going to have this time as LGD has picked him up, but just that enough time to allow him to reset his feet and to begin right-clicking heroes. He was just blowing up the entire team by the end.
Yeah, but now I think this SF will even have a worse time, because the lanes that I can actually see them coming from, I'm thinking they might go for a Pycat solo and God kill them all solo type of a thing going on, and the double roaming, but pretty much won't be roaming, will be just disrupting the SF farm. Clockwork, Leshrac, Shadow Demon. I don't think this SF will survive a disruption. He literally will not. If there's not going to be a stun on this Clockwork or something like that, that will stun both the Clockwork and Leshrac to disrupt the stun, and the cogs is going to come out after the destruction, I see no way of SF living. But it didn't happen. I mean, it happened last game too. The SF, he did nothing on his lane. He was destroyed. But it really matters how the teamwork of Orange, like how they use the SF. They understand that it's going to have a tough time. But if they give him some space in the 5th, 6th minute, get him level 5, 7. He's just going to go into the woods, get his items up, and you're going to get him farmed.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we saw before. And I was kind of thinking the same thing. Looking at LGD's lineup, this is the kind of lineup we've seen them run as an offensive tri lane just with these three. I mean, obviously, Clockwork is not going to be... I mean, when you look at just the damage potential they have, leading off with Disruption, Soul Catcher to follow it up, Split Earth right afterwards, then you're going to have Clockwork able to catch a hero out in Cogs if he's able to position himself. It is still a lineup, though, that is very level-dependent. I mean, when you're talking about Clockwork, Leshrac, it's going to be another one of those tri lanes, if they decide to go in that direction, where I don't think they have a lot of room for error. And we saw that in Game 1, too. Once they lost that one engagement and Orange went from being down 2 or 3 kills and Mushi having 3, 4 last hits to him being back to even, all of a sudden that tri-lane just did not feel potent at all. And we even saw PyCap begin to suffer. That's when the movement began to show itself and the laning phase began to break down. But it wasn't the situation LGD really wanted to be in by that stage of the game. As you said, the Shadow Fiend just dipping into the jungle, ready to find his items one way or the other. And that poke and prod kind of a play style able to show itself a lot more because it wasn't as risky to be caught out in smaller skirmishes if you were in the shoes of Orange. So the bans are complete. We do see Coddle, Darkseer, and Brewmaster banned out by LGD. 3 heroes that are very strong early, very, very strong team fighters in Darkseer and Brewmaster in particular. So would say LGD is going to be looking to take fights much earlier than we even saw in Game 1. Orange taking out the Luna, the Queen of Pain, and the Weaver, just taking out those mid-game damage dealers, those heroes that could split push with the best of them as well. Enigma going to be their first pickup in the second pick phase.
What I'm always wondering is, while LGD do enjoy picking up the Lycanthrope, and it does look like one of these games is gonna, like, I think they wanted it, maybe not, but I can feel that they might be thinking about it because they need early pressure, and Lycan is a great pressure hero. He can stay against... The lanes can start out very easily. They're dire, right? And Enigma will go to the hard lane. He can just stay there against the Enigma. There's no problem. And it's just going to work beautifully for them. The only problem is that they, again, are in a position where they just have to go in and try to fight them. But if this Enigma gets BKB, I don't think they have anything to do against it. They really need to think about these picks that they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm real interested to see what their fourth one's going to be. And their whole complexion, the complexion of their lineup and their laning phase is going to be dictated almost certainly here. I mean, the obvious, again, when you look at it, it would seem fairly obvious they'll want to offensively tri-lane those 3. Clockwork, of course, could go mid if you really wanted to. Gyrocopter will be the pickup. That's a hero they can honestly run in an offensive tri-lane as well. So they have a lot of versatility left. I like the idea, like you said, of the Enigma. If they believe the Enigma is going solo lane, you could pretty honestly, very easily run a Gyro against an Enigma. You could also run it mid against a Magnus very easily, too.
The Gyrocopter is a really good pickup because he can just stay behind, or not stay behind, he can stay in the fight and just flat cannon enemies. The SF will burn down, the Nyx will burn down. Magnus, if he uses RP on the Gyrocopter, if you disrupt them, there's no way you can kill the Gyrocopter. So it is a very good pickup right now. I don't really see anything. If they play it right, Gyrocopter will be dealing lots of amounts of damage. But it all depends on the Magnus this game. Then.
Oh, yeah, and thinking about the Gyro in particular, the one thing that's going to be a question is how do they build him? Looking at the lineup they already have, a team that and based on their bans as well, a team that I think wants to fight sooner rather than later. Do they go with a damage build like a Shadow Blade, seeing them do that much, or do they go ahead and bring out the BKB straight away? BKB would help a ton against the single target burst damage that a Nyx Assassin is going to be able to pour on following an Impale. Bane will be the pickup now coming out of Orange. I really like that Bane pickup for everything you just named. Like you said, if Magnus is able to land an RP, but there's still a Shadow Demon there to disrupt, Bane is just one more way for them to reliably disable that Gyrocopter, keep him in place, and allow those big damage dealers. I mean, and when you talk about the damage that could come out of Shadow Fiend and Nyx Assassin in particular, just in terms of their pure ability to focus one target down, that's gonna be a rough life for Gyro if they're able to chain that together with the Black Hole, the RP, then follow it up with a Fiend's Grip.
We're again in a position where LGD has to do something in the early game phase because again, they don't have any hero that can disrupt any BKB hero like Enigma or Magnus that's going to go BKB in. And the problem is they have 3 heroes that are going to disrupt the BKB hero: an Enigma, Bane Elemental, and Magnus. Plus, they're in a position again that if the enemy starts out-leveling them, or if the game goes late game, I see Bane already using Enfeeble on the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter won't deal damage, but what the hell is the Shadow Demon Clockwork and Leshrac going to do if the Gyrocopter does not deal damage? They are in a pickle once again, and they need to do a very pressurable pick right now.
Very good drafting, I have to agree, coming out of Orange. Well, they're going to pick the Silencer again, and certainly understand why. Silence does go through BKB, for those who aren't aware.
Yes, that's a very good pickup against Enigma.
Yep. So,
also Bane.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's one thing they can disrupt an Enigma who is channeling his black hole, or they can just prevent it entirely. And when you look at how squishy Shadow Fiend, I mean, Nyx Assassin with Carapace, but Carapace, again, silenced out. You can't use Carapace. You've got 3 heroes that, when silenced, are going to die very quickly, even if you don't have the best damage in the world. They've got enough. They've got more than enough coming out of Gyro, Leshrac, Glaives of Wisdom with that damage early on. We saw how lethal that could be in game number 1. So there's absolutely no question. But again, it comes down to what we talked about in game 1, Puppy. I mean, a Silencer who's played well and is able to get to his ultimate right on time every time will change a game. But if you misspin that ultimate, the hero, it can end up hurting you as much as he helps you.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, right now, I usually don't try to do this, but it's a weird type of a lineup. If you pick Silencer against Narub, or Nyx Assassin, I mean, if you pick it against Narub, you're always gonna think that you're gonna have to play better, because his mana burn will deal amounts of damage to the Silencer. But in the end of the day, the Nyx Assassin can't do anything in the fight if you see him coming with the Invis and you just pop the silence and you send the silence on him and just kill him, because he can't use his Carapace, and that's also a thing. So it's one of those situations where it's a counter, but it's not really, because the other hero counters him too. One of those situations.
Want to thank everyone once again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, I'm AC, joined by Navi's own Puppy. A lot of folks here, happy to hear you on the mic and dropping your knowledge bombs as always. Want to take the time and the moment to thank you personally once again for joining me for the broadcast. Was privileged enough to have you yesterday. I want to thank you again for being here today.
No problem, man.
That's right. That's right. See, I'm going to now, what you guys don't know is that the only reason Puppy is here is I have promised to buy him a shot for every time he broadcasts with me between now and the International 3. So, you know, you don't know that, but that's exactly the relationship we have going right here. Booze for knowledge, right?
Booze for knowledge. Not just one shot, though. It's going to be 1,000.
Oh, exactly. But you got to spend 1,000 games casting with me, and I think that's an even trade. I'll happily.
No, man. I'm from Boston, man. Boston people only thief, you know.
That's right. Eat beans and drink bad beer. I don't like lager, man. Not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna get some ugly tweets from that. I do not like some Boston lager. I do not like it. I like some wit beer personally. But well, what's your poison? What do you like to drink?
Tweets, man. What I like? No, I was like thinking, like, oh, I'm gonna get some bad tweets. Ruin my day.
Exactly.
Ruin my day.
That's all I do, dude. Whenever I'm not broadcasting, just stare at Twitter all day and measure my own self-worth based on the opinions expressed by random people on the internet. But the random people on the internet that happen to be in the stream, I love you guys. Heart big, less than 3. Head in your direction. Make sure you check out for all of your G1 coverage, the G1 coverage of G1.2p.com. You can find articles, interviews, write-ups. You can find all of the schedules that are available so far. You want it, you name it, you got it. G1.2p.com. The broadcaster hub there as well, where you can find Puppy and myself. You can interact with us in live real time on Twitter as well if you want to tell me how much of an idiot I am and call me a noob because I don't like Boston Lager. But looks like we will be back into the game. So, tell you what, let's run through our lineup, see who's handling who before they even get out. Mushi, for the second game in a row, going to be running on Shadow Fiend. He had an excellent game in game number 1, bouncing back from a poor laning phase for the first few minutes. Going to have X handling our Enigma this time. Net going to be playing on Bane. Net had a great game last time around. We're going to have K handling our Magnus, and Nyx Assassin will be played by Ohio. On the other side of the river, Misery going to be back on our Leshrac. Shadow Demon will be handled by 1437. This time around, we'll have God handling our Clockwork. No surprise to see that, though. God is also a very adept player at Silencer. Brax will be farming up our Gyrocopter, and it'll actually be Pycat running on the Silencer this time.
Yeah, it's going to be a Silencer on a tri-lane. Definitely.
We can see LGD moving into the Radiant side jungle. There's 2 heroes here. That's going to be Magnus and Bane. Mag, the most likely target for them to spot out. 2 ships passing in the night, though. They will be able to make it past. You already see one ward being dropped down immediately coming out from Orange. And looks like LGD will just go ahead and back out.
Okay, this is very important. I think these teams know each other very well because literally Silencer, he can't really do much against the Shadow Fiend. If he gets levels, he's just going to nuke out the creeps and just, you know, take the runes and stuff and control the lane. He will still get at the farm. But they don't do this. They don't put the Silencer middle, they put Clockwork middle. A hero that can fight back, and literally one of those. Okay, I gotta stop saying literally though.
I see you listen to him. You got bad tweets too.
Yeah, I did, man. I did. Actually, I know it. I actually literally like to say literally, and I know that it's a parasite word for me. But actually, they're changing lanes. What the hell's going on? I don't understand anything.
Says Puppy. If you don't understand, then my head may as well just be exploded on the wall. We got 1437 in Misery actually here, and this just goes to show you. I like this call actually. Giving a lot of attention to mid. This will prompt some kind of a reaction coming out of Orange almost certainly. But Mushi for the moment, yeah, are they going to try lane mid? Is that what's happening here? Even if it's just for a minute. It looks like Lesh is going to bail out. Okay. So we'll be 1437 and Brax setting up shop here in mid.
Well, well, well. And Nyx Assassin solo top. These guys haven't really done their homework.
Yeah, this is just brilliant, actually. Pycat versus Nyx. Nyx, of course, able to deal with Silencer quite well. Better than most heroes can one-on-one. Mushi, going to be trying to find what he can. Doesn't have a single last hit here in mid. And this is actually really, really dangerous for Mushi. Like, if they get a good creep wave going, they're going to be able to apply pressure even up under the tower starting very soon because of the potency of Rocket Barrage combined with Disruption. Down at bottom, we're going to have God in a 1 versus 2, so obviously he might actually... One more... Does he... Can he... I was going to say, does he have another Tango? God being pursued, yes. And Net, one more auto attack. He probably need 2 more to clean him up. And he is moving a little faster. He's caught him once or twice. Nope, they got the same movement speed, actually. So, God will be able to make it back away.
Okay, for the situation for Mushi is pretty much that he wants to just get level 3. And when he gets level 3, he's going to get boots or bottle. Doesn't matter. He already has almost boots. He's trying to stack the spawns once more.
Level 2. It's got about 400 gold in the bank. We'll see what the item choice is going to be. Boots or bottle, as you had said. Misery spending some time in lane now. Just hit level 2. Pycat so far sitting near the top of our last hits. Very early on, though. Just 2 minutes in. And he's got 7. 1437 will spot out the haste rune, so they'll maintain rune control for the moment. Gyrocopter, though, quite happy with the way these lanes have worked out. He and Magnus sitting way near the top.
Yeah, this Nerubian top, this is just brilliant for them because they did not go some weird solo bottom lane. Watch out.
Bottom lane, we are going to have the cogs go down. God taking some damage. He is up under his own tower. No brain sap, actually. That hurts right there. Ned has brain sap. They might have been able to clean him up, but instead...
No. They would not have killed him. It would be too hard. But God got unlucky there. The creeps, they were kind of blocking his pathway to get away from the cogs. So it's weird. Unlucky from him.
God sitting at level 3.5, so he is at least sucking up some experience so far. Enigma's at level 3 as well, has made his way over into his own jungle. He was spotted out in the jungle of LGD right at the beginning by Misery, but now finally getting over where he belongs. He's going to be level 4 before long. Disruption in mid. Soul Catcher's there, and that's what I was talking about. Very dangerous from Mushi, and very fortuitous. Illusion spawns blocked out between his own illusions. Give first blood to LGD International, and Brax gonna be quite happy to take that first blood as well.
Okay, they're gonna go on the Clockwork.
Down at bottom, here we go. There's the Nightmare, there's the Skewer. No, they did have enough for a Shockwave. That should be a return kill. Comes just seconds after LGD is able to add the first death to the board, but clock down, as was the Shadow Fiend. Now Mushi still sitting at just 7 last hits, beginning to fall behind. Didn't see what he picked up. Does he have something on the courier? No, he doesn't yet. And now LGD, under cover of smoke, gonna make their way over. They can kill Mushi again. Up, here we go. There's the disruption. Here comes Brax, ready to go. Good split earth follow-up from Misery. Second time in as many minutes. Down goes Muda 1, favoring LGD.
I'm still worried about this Nyx Assassin. If he's still gonna get there... He still has a flask, so he doesn't really care about this harassment which comes out of Sanser, who does not even have mana for glaives. Literally does not. Literally, guys. Literally.
It's all right, man. I have a few of those too. I tend to say quite a bit. We can see a little counter harassment being applied as well. The impale goes.
But
on.
It always changes, you know. It always changes. Something new comes out, you know. Obviously, I said obviously for a while.
Yep, we're trendy, man. That's how we roll. Whenever we buy into a trend, we go all the way. We don't.
Yeah,
just do
I gotta like find something new for people to hate about me, you know. Can't just stay with one thing.
I can't tell you how many tweets I got, tweets and messages. I haven't played BioShock Infinite yet. I've heard it's a great game, but apparently in one of the opening scenes, somebody says day late and $1 short, and I got that tweeted at me and sent at me 1,000 times the day that game came out.
For the bottom lane.
And God, gonna drop his COG.
He just used COG, and that's his death probably.
Yep, he does have Brain Sap this time. He has Nightmare. There it is. Magnus going to be ready with the old skewer. There it is. Shockwave follow-up, and Bane will be happy. Actually, Magnus got that kill with one auto attack. So, 2-2. They're able to kill off the clock, so they are holding Mushi
Another
down.
smoke gang. Another smoke gang.
You got to love this. Oh, Mushi going to make it easy for him. Eats the Soul Catcher, and beautiful follow-up. Called out more than enough to bring him down. Again, that's 3 deaths on poor Mushi so far. And 2-0-2 on Brax, 2-0-0 on the Magnus, 1-0-1 on the Leshrac, and poor Mushi, 0-3.
Yeah, Mushi likes to feed and then kill you later.
that's pro style, man. Feed during the laning phase, call everyone a name, then just come back and farm like hell.
That is the SF super squishy hero. That's why he likes to play him, because if you get what you need early game, and if you get like 1 kill and nobody touches you, he knows what he can do with the hero. He knows, but he knows that this situation is probably going to happen instead of early game advantage.
And LGD really looking to be in their comfort zone here. I feel like this is a lineup that they feel much more comfortable executing.
Assassin is coming in.
Here comes the Nyx. Nyx is level 5. No Vendetta. Wolf spin and impale on Misery. Brax is there to help him out. Bane's there as well. They do clean him up with a brain stab. Here comes Enigma. The follow-up coming from the Shadow Race is enough damage, and they actually nightmared 1437. That was so smart. They can't catch him, though. Nightmared him and just relied on the ability to lock down the other kill on the high ground, so they do get a couple of return kills. They're going blow for blow, make it 4 for 3.
But it's still not benefiting them, because this Magnetar, he's gonna change the game sooner or later.
And LGD holding Mushi down pretty well. But as we saw, to be honest, in Game 1, and it's one of the, I guess you could call it a strength of a Shadow Fiend, is he's going to be able to do damage by virtue of nothing but Necromastery and Presence of the Dark Lord. That alone, I mean, obviously, the more items he gets, the better start he has, the more lethal he'll be. But so long as the entire lineup isn't predicated on him just 1v5ing every fight, which it certainly won't be. When you have an Enigma, you have a reverse polarity, a black hole, etc. Bottom lane, here we go. They're going to try to catch the Magnus. And Magnus will be cleaned up. God swung the hook out wide. Didn't even need it, though. Much needed kill there. And I'd say that's just as high value as killing off a Mushi at this point.
Top play.
Bycat. Going to eat a Malefice. There it is. And
He's
TP
gonna
reaction.
eat it, yo. He's just going to eat it.
Not mine. No follow-up. Nyx Assassin is level 6 under cover of Vendetta, waiting for someone to step a little too far out. Down at bottom, looks like they want to go after Bane again. There's a Nightmare. And here's 1437 counters with the disruption. Magnus is there, though, and he may skewer. I'm surprised he hasn't so far. There it is, and he is barely going to be able to go 1 for 1. Now being chased away by the Clockwork. He is level 7, has an RP if and when he wants to use it. Didn't deem it necessary there.
So very casual, basically the same as Game 1. Kills everywhere going on and stuff. Weird movements, level 5 Enigmas ganking, silencer stop and stuff. Very weird stuff going on. But it's aggressive.
Right.
They need to.
Just having watched LGD International over the last couple of weeks, I mean, I've probably broadcasted them. I'd say it's my 5th or 6th, if not even more, broadcasted them. LGD plays better when they are in the aggressive position. They are not a team who really, I don't think, feels super comfortable when they're not doing stuff like just trying to pour pressure on. And we're seeing Orange do the exact same thing. You know, it's not as if they're not renowned for that. In fact, we got 3 moving to take on 2. The Courier's there as well. Poor Zonky, better watch out. And Enigma plus the Nyx. Here comes the Bane to follow it up as well, and they're going to go for it. Misery going to eat. Actually gets off the Split Earth first. Now the TP reactions, and Orange caught with their hand in the cookie jar. They're going to get a return kill on Nyx at the very least. They should be able to get net, and they will. Wow. And yeah, that was really not the best executed gank I've ever seen.
I think this Tango changed a little bit because he got it. He ate a spot out to see the Nyx assassin. I think if he would have seen the Silencer right away, he would have burned his mana, and Silencer would not have mana to do anything. So very clutch situations. Very, very.
TPN, we got 4 at top. Let's see if they want to push. They're going to have to push through a Magnus to do so, though. The rest of the team is in mid, and Magnus going to spam the shockwave. A lot of damage taken by the tower already, down below half. And LGD, looks like they should be able to clean it up pretty easily.
Not unless Mag says so.
Yeah, here comes Mag. He's going to go for it. Can he catch Misery? He's got an RP if he wants to spin it. He does land the shockwave. So they get 1 return kill. That tower didn't drop. Now he can spend an RP. There's the black hole. We're going to see a black hole. Nope. And the RP to follow it up. Orange turning this around in a big, big way. LGD unable to even get the tower. And 1437 going to be next on the list. Eats the Malefice. Down he goes. 9 to 8. Tier 1 still stands with, and it's in deny range, so they can go back and deny it.
I really did not understand why Brax thought it's a great idea to just run in and think that this is going to be a good idea to fight them back, because they lost Leshrac already. There are 3 heroes there. There's going to be maximum 5 heroes top. They already saw the 4 heroes coming out. They used all of the spells on the tower anyway, plus the frag top. Sansa had no mana. It's very, very cocky move.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you have to know Enigma and Magnus are both level 6 and 7 and ready to fight. I mean, they are not heroes who are going to worry about wading into a situation. You group up and give them 2 targets. They're going to spin that, especially knowing how few ways you actually have to knock them out of it. I mean, they have Disruption, they have Split Earth, but with the Lesh already down, Shadow Demon running for his life. I mean, I'm like you. It just seemed a little bizarre to me. Now we're going to see them begin to group in mid and maybe beginning to feel a little bit more pressure to get something done elsewhere on the map. Glyph will be popped, so it looks like Orange wants to contend this. Shadow Fiend hasn't put a point into his ultimate yet, so he has focused up nothing but Necromastery and Shadow Race. And yeah, peace out 1437. See you at the base, bro.
I just don't understand, because it means if you don't have mana on basically 2 heroes and you have 3 heroes there standing and you run in, it means that you're not going to win the fight. If they would have had Global there, yes, they could have maybe done something, but I still think they wouldn't have won the fight. They need damage to kill all the heroes, which they don't have. And now they're in a position where they just can't do anything anymore.
I agree, man. This is beginning to become worrisome. Brax is off to a good start, so I mean, you don't want to sell that short. We'll see if he wants to.
His good start has been stagnant for 5 minutes. He did not get anything in 5 minutes already.
Yep, he's actually fallen behind in farm. I had the other tab up, and you're exactly right, man. Here we go. There's a hook that's going to land. Now the silence goes off. Can they clean it up? They will be able to bring down the Magnus, and the rest of Orange back up under their tower. So. Getting at least 1 pick they desperately needed. However, look at Mushi. Mushi finding his farm in bottom. He's going to go ahead and push into the tier 1 bottom. Do they have a glyph? They do if they want to spend it. And really kind of dragging ass to make up their mind what they want to do here. Mushi's just laying into this tower, and finally, they're going to go. A little bit of indecision there. Cost them a few extra last hits and a little bit of extra damage on that tower.
Well, they have to go bottom anyway. They have to take these towers.
Yep.
They really need a mech though, or an urn, I mean, because they're gonna get harassed by this Magnetar waving into them and stuff. But if they won't have anything to heal themselves up, they're gonna just be melted down.
Right. And Mushi, flash farming at top, and yeah, at best if they they are gonna TP. I was gonna say they can TP 1 in and make their push bottom a little less potent, but at least they'll have a chance to take a tower outright. But right now, Orange's movement's just better. Like in game 1 and now in game 2, I just feel like Orange is making much better decisions, and LGD is usually really good in that department.
Well, since they know that they use 2 teleports, they're just going to smoke gank the Silencer. And they know Global's down, so even if they're going to be teleported top, I think it's going to be just a black hole on those heroes that are teleporting.
Here we go.
So let's see how this goes.
Enigma and Nyx. Nyx goes into Vendetta. Ready to find a poor little Pycat. The rest of the team.
Smoke going on for LGD, by the way.
Smoking through mid. Here we go. Standing right at the periphery of things. Mushi going to show his face. Pycat suspects, I think, that he might be in trouble here. Yep, there's the impale. And the mana burn immediately.
He's going to black hole these heroes.
Beautifully done. God got out and should be right-click down. He will be able to get cogs off. And
Sansa's ball back. I don't think Sansa has TP.
Wow, they actually get the Nyx assassin, and God made it away there. So not the best executed from Orange that time around. In bottom now, we have a fight going on as well. We're going to see a Nightmare on Misery, 1437. He's a big brain sap shockwave. Nightmare transferred to him, and again, gut split Earth. Shadow Demon does end up paying the price, and with
the Magnetar has 4 charges on him of the Shadow Demon poison. He will die, I think, if a nuke hits.
And up, there he goes. Yep. And Ned able to clean things up, though, with 1 brain sap. But yeah, that was a good call. 4 charges of Shadow Poison, just enough after God was able to hit him with a Rocket Flare. And now Ned's got to be careful. He's pretty low. Doesn't have any charges. And yeah, he's just going to teleport home.
But still, you got to listen to this information. If God would have died there, this would have been a team wipe on the whole map.
And it's off.
And now Brax joining up with God. Ohio has an eye on him. God
is... Invis is running out. Invis is running out. You got to do something at least, if he wants to use it.
Nope. Looks like he's just going to duck into the woods. Don't think he was spotted there either. Tier 1 bottom is still...
Now he's spotted.
Near full. And yeah, spotted out that time. Or was spotted. Looks like he was probably spotted out to begin with. Brax leading the charge. He's got support behind him. Misery and God +1 making his way down. That's 1437. Rotation from Orange coming a little slowly. There's a hook, though. That's going to connect. It caught 2. Now he's going to skewer back out. Call down's going to land on 1. Magnus does not have RP. Down to low health, but with the Enigma there, adding a little bit of extra damage. Magnus is going to be not quite able to make it away. Blink Dagger was very close.
After the Enigma. SF's trying to kill the silencer. 2 fights going on right now.
Up at top, Pycat trying to find a way into this.
I think.
And Mushi being pursued out. No, Nightmare. Nightmare from the Bane from Net, who was chased back to the tier 2 by the homing missile. Looks like Mushi will be going for his Shadow Blade, by the way. Has added the Claymore, so not as worried about survivability as he is about damage, at least in these early phases. And in contrast, Brax has added the Ogre Club as his first big item.
He needs this BKB. That is very true. And he's actually very close to it. If they would stack the Ancients a little bit for him, I think he would get it very fast.
Yeah, he's not far from Midwarmer. And Net.
Okay, Clockworks. You have your ultimate soon?
Net is in a bad spot. See you at the base, buddy. He's going to have help coming. Not nearly fast enough, though. Magnus opting not to engage. Now more TP reactions coming, 14-14. And now the Impale and the Mana Burn on the 1437. He got God with it as well. RP spent. There's the Global Silence, but the right-click damage should be enough to clean him up. Calldown's going to whiff completely. They do get 1 kill. And God still standing. Enigma now being forced back. 23 seconds on Black Hole. Mushi in trouble. Eating Urn charges. That's it. He dies. Mini ult goes off. So LGD getting the slight best of that engagement. 16-15 as the dust settles. They've got 4 in position. Let's see what they want to do.
LGD is playing so well right now. Everything that they needed to do and get this game rolling for them, they just did. They started the 3-minute fighting time. And that's enough for them to come back to this game and like settle a farm. Like, let's take a look at the goal graph. As you can see, it has melted down to 4K.
Absolutely a big turnaround. Very close game up to that point. 4K their advantage now, though the experience just as impressive. 3,000 experience being turned completely on its head and now back over the 0 line. Basically for the first time since about 10 minutes ago, give or take. So LGD executing on all fronts. Mushi still a ways away unless he's got it on the courier. He does not, so he's still about 1,600 gold away from having up his Shadow Blade. What do you think about that choice, going Shadow Blade instead of the survivability of a BKB first?
If they would have played passive a little bit, I think it would work out. But instead they started skirmishing around the map, which is not really good for SF if you start skirmishing around the map, because SF can die to any hero. He can even die to the solo Shadow Demon.
Right.
Mark my words. And that's the whole point about this hero. He needs some backup. He needs to farm this stuff up like you saw last game. They were just backing him up. Weaver was backing him up. Tinker was there all the time. Everything was going fine for them. But right now, they are about a K and 500 gold away from their good items, which is BKB on the Enigma, the Lothars on the Shadow Fiend. You know, it's a little bit less, 800 gold, but it's still gold they need to farm right now. And they know that. They need to split push the towers down.
One concern that I do have for LGD, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, is when the BKBs do start to come out from Orange, if Brax is not sufficiently farmed, by sufficiently I mean nice and far ahead to the point that Flat Cannon is enough to bring down heroes, they are very magic damage dependent. So if you have a BKB on Enigma, you have a BKB on Magnus, you have a BKB eventually on the Shadow Fiend, basically the majority of their damage is going to be coming almost entirely, at least while those BKBs are active, from nothing but Brax and Flat Cannon. Can't even rely on Rocket Barrage there. So these BKBs, clutch items for Orange.
It really depends on the global silence. If they get the RP on the silencer and they take him down with the BKBs, I don't think LGD can win a single fight.
They can certainly take a single tower. That's tier 2 now gone, beginning to get some map control in their favor. It's worth mentioning, though, the 2 towers have been brought down by Orange as well, so no doubt about it, LGD is ahead in that regard. Their gold lead continues to go, actually is turning around.
But, oh wow.
Saw that. I heard it, got there just in time, and that's going to be a Shadow Blade done. That's very important, the fact that that hook didn't hit. Mushi now with his Shadow Blade complete.
It would have made him a little bit vulnerable the next 3 minutes once again, since he would not have the souls, but it doesn't really matter. SF's still vulnerable, and they're gonna try to take the Roshan soon. I am betting it, because they have to. There's no reason to not to, because they need to take this Roshan, and they start pushing down the second towers that they still have, middle, top.
Talked briefly about how important the BKBs are for Orange and how survivable they're going to be. I mean, and that's true for any team. You get up a set of BKBs on your supports and what have you. Obviously, their survivability goes up. But the same is true for LGD, except much cheaper. You start looking at their supports. You can see the Urn and Misery now with a Staff of Wizardry in his inventory. Pycat's actually already got a set of drums.
Mushi, don't die. Mushi, don't die. Come on. Come on, Mushi.
Mushi uses up. Sentry goes down. And global silence.
Oh, why did he silence?
Couldn't tell you. I guess wanted to make sure. I couldn't. I'm like you. I have no idea why.
No, it's true. You should, because they always defend Mushi. Like, how could they not know that the Magnetar would not jump on it? Because I think, okay, first of all, it's not wrong to use the ultimate like that. He would never know if the Magnetar was waiting behind and there's going to be Enigma with a fast BKB right now jumping in. And it was right, because they needed this kill. They needed this kill and they needed Roshan. That's all they needed. It was right. I just did not know that they did not know that this is going to happen, because I thought they knew that the heroes were pushing top. I thought they knew that there are heroes. And there's no tower bottom to teleport on. They can see it very well.
Roche
so
down.
it's a good choice.
Roche is down to half health right now. The BKB is done on Brax. And this should be a free agent. 2 Force Staffs, by the way, just now completed. One on Pycat, one on Misery. So their ability to get in and out of these fights is going to be quite high. And their survivability is going to be substantially increased as well. TP reaction comes out. Brax there, able to keep that tier 2 top still standing. After that, the gold was heading back in the direction of Orange momentarily, now south of 4,000. The advantage for LGD International again. Looks like they are going to go for this, though. They managed to catch Brax out. This is a very important kill. Oh, wow.
They're not getting it.
Wow. Thought they were going to be able to get the Aegis. Not quite, though.
Should have started out with the Impale, I think.
And a little bit of spell trading, but yeah, the fact that Brax makes it away without losing the Aegis that quickly, that's pretty clutch.
SF?
Being stared at by God. God uses the mech on himself. The counter word a bit. Yep. And Mushi able to make it away with his Shadow Blade. 23 minutes in, we got 32 kills on the board, and I call me geographically eccentric or whatever, but I like games like this that have a lot of action. This is such a nice change of pace from a lot of the other styles that a lot of teams like to play.
Yes, it's very nice to see these games, and for now, what I see from LGD is that they have 2 Force Staffs. These 2 Force Staffs mean that they're going to Force Staff somebody. I hope so that they do this, because if they do, they're just going to global silence and nail the hero down. Some Nerubian, doesn't matter who it's going to be. They're just going to Because some hero is going to defend the creep wave that's going to hit the tower.
Right.
A hero has to do that. Depends how they do it. Because there are BKBs on these heroes soon. Like, Magnetar is going to get it soon. I think... Yeah, Enigma already has it, but the Shadow Fiend is really far. And actually, he can die. Just rocket. Oh, no, no, no. No. SF.
1437. Looping around, and yeah, Mushi knows it. Nope, not where he wants to be. He does manage to make it back to safety. We got
mid
two
lane
here in mid. 3, yeah, I see that definitely. We got 3 there from the side of them. We've got 1 under Smoke and 1 under Vendetta. Now the rotation from LGD. Gonna hook back up with their buddies and maybe look to put together something in that top lane.
See, I like this smoke in their woods. It's not a smoke that they want to kill any hero. It's just that they want to see what's going on.
And here we go. Tier 2 top, gonna be the target. Already about 3/4 health on that. Edict gonna make that much less. And Orange not even gonna defend this. They're not gonna glyph it. They're not gonna rotate. Down it goes very quickly. And Orange beginning to feel a little bit out of sorts. Feeling a little bit outmaneuvered now, and I was kind of talking earlier on that LGD felt like they were getting outmaneuvered, but they pulled it back together admirably. I feel like they're playing a great game of Dota right now.
Yes, the Shadow Fiend is not going to be that big of a deal if the Gyrocopter starts getting farm up. The only thing, the only difference that Chinese Dota is from European Dota is that people know why Magnetar is first pick. You can't enter the base. You literally can't enter the base. Literally. The idea is that he just disrupts it. You just can't, and that means that your Shadow Fiend, your Magnetar, your Enigma, you will go into late game. You will go there. If you will ever think, oh, disconnect again. If you will ever think that you're gonna have to go and push like some racks or something like that, it's gonna be a very bad idea. You can't play that game against the Magnetar.
I'm a big fan of Magnus. I love casting him, love playing him. I think I'm like you. I feel like he's a hero that deserves to be first picked in a lot of cases. Some teams don't feel that way, but well, I think we're going to get a good look at it. I mean, we only have seen Black Hole and RP really work in conjunction one time so far. But it's, you know, that happened early on. Now, though, trying to push through these concentrated bottlenecks, you know, trying to get up these steps now, it's going to be just about impossible without taking some major risks, or at the very least, and I think this is the brilliance of those force staffs, that job gets a lot easier if you can catch one hero napping out in front of these steps, get them force staffed out, like you said, blow the global silence, and guarantee that you can't be initiated upon at least for 6 seconds.
There's lots of ability that they have. They have disruption, they have clockwork jump in. For now, it seems great and all, but in the end, if I look at the Gyrocopter, he still hasn't gotten a big item on him. Yep. And this Aegis will fall down soon. It's going to fall down in 1 minute. And, well, that's pretty much it for him. He really needs to get some butterflies, something going, because he's not going to deal much damage, because you can see, plus 30 damage. That is no damage item.
Something we haven't really talked a whole lot about, but is very essential here is the fact that Magnus is going to make Mushi a heavy hitter. I mean, Mushi is going to be right-clicking like a boss by the time he gets up one more. I mean, obviously, BKB will be his next big item. He's got enough for the Mithril Hammer now, about 1,200 gold away from the BKB in total. But once he gets up one more, and it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a butterfly. It doesn't matter if he goes for crit, if he goes for MKB. That plus Empower, he will literally, I'm stealing your word, literally be 3- and 4-shotting supports.
That is true, that is true. The only thing that I know is that Shadow Demon and Leshrac, they're getting farmed up. And maybe that's not going to be happening.
929 health right now on 1437, just one little bracer. The silencer is certainly tanked up admirably. I mean, and Pycat has played a really solid silencer from my point of view. He's got drums, he's got his force staff, he's got an ultimate orb. We'll see what that's on the way to. One can only imagine it would be a Scythe of Ice. Having a Scythe of Ice is just a way to lock down even a Magnus or a Magnus and Enigma. I mean, obviously, big target in Mushi. But being able to rely on that as a hardcore disable once you blow Global Silence would be just gigantic for their ability to reliably get up these steps and try to close this game out.
Mushi's getting very close to his BKB. So is Magnetar. And they're just farming the lanes. Yes, the woods is being farmed by LGD, but I don't think the clock is so bad for Orange, since they still have Magnetar. And they do have this hero like Nyx Assassin that is still going to deal a lot of damage to the Silencer. Doesn't matter what type of late game, mid game, early game, he's still going to deal so much damage with that burn.
Yasha the choice for Gyrocopter on Pycat. See if he wants to get his Manta up before they really take a chance.
Brax.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, Brax, you are correct. And, yeah, on the gyro. I like the way you say it, gyro. I got to start saying it that way.
I think it's gyrocopter. I don't think it's gyro. There's no J in there.
That's one of those funny Englishisms. What is it? See, there's Eero.
I like logic instead of Englishism.
You shut up. You take your fancy book learning elsewhere. We ain't got time for that.
I don't listen to rednecks.
Hey, come on now. I'm from West Virginia. Don't know if you know U.S. geography. I qualify as a redneck.
Oh, you qualify as a redneck?
Dude, I'm a mountain man, dude. I come from I come from hillbilly country. I come from redneck land.
No. That's not the question. The question is, are you a redneck?
Well, so often.
This is like not literally a question about literally. Where are you from? The question is, are you a redneck?
Figuratively.
It's people that are rednecks. It's not where you're from.
It's a culture. I'll tell you what. One day at the international,
I like the idea of saying it's a culture. It's a big thing.
I'm not saying it's a great culture.
Stuff.
Hey, we got our own art. Damn it. Oh, hang on. Taxidermies and art. 1437 engaged. Or actually, he's gonna get off a demonic purge on Bane, and the call down enough to clean him up. That's 35 seconds. That Bane is down. God. Looks like he's heading for an Ags. He's got a point booster in his inventory, 1,700 gold to boot. Buybacks, though, going to become the name in the game, at least momentarily. We've got a few up across the board. None on Shadow Demon, none on Enigma, none on Mushi, most notably. Mushi sans buyback, but he does have his BKB, and looks like he's going to have a chance to use it soon. Orange.
They don't want to push this. They really don't. If they're going to get... Oh, they're going to get edicted up. So this is... Yeah, this is the end of the push. There's no way they're going in further. Or are they?
Looks like they got other ideas. Looks like... nope, they are going to at least back off to join with the creep wave. And yeah, they're just going to...
Russia is up soon. They don't need to do this, but they really need to put the pressure on the enemy. I think they want to find this Spade Elemental once again and try to kill him.
15 to 18, LGD's gold, 7,500, 3,000 experience, so the gold in their favor. Buyback status, none on Mushi still yet. There's going to be an enfeeble on Brax.
Gyrocopter deals no damage.
Yep. And can't do anything. They've still got the... Oh, wow, Misery going to be caught with Fiend's Grip. There's a disruption to bail him out. Now are they going to go for it? Hook's going to be off the mark. He does go in. Cogs are down. God might end up dying here. He will be cleaned up. 51 seconds, he's down. He does have buyback if he wants it, and he may have to use it to save Roshan. Rosh up in about, looks like, about a minute.
He doesn't need to.
Orange. Well, look at the warding here, by the way, from LGD. You think they care a little bit about this real estate? Right there, right there, right there. Just a bit. Anyway,
it was very, very... like horrible to watch this gyrocopter have pretty much only 7 damage. he what's this, 130, what is this? Oh, he's changing the boots and stuff. He had 130 damage right now. He had 127 before the level up on the 16. And he just had 7 damage. It's like, hello. What's going on here?
Enfeeble, pretty strong spell. OP champ.
It is.
32 minutes in, this game not looking like we're going to have the conclusion anytime soon. Still very much anyone's game. LGD, I don't think there's any question they have been in the best shape over the last 10 minutes or so. 7,500 gold, though, when you start getting up towards 40 minutes, that's a team fight. You know, that's the difference in just one engagement not going your way. The experience is drawing even closer to 0, so Orange keeping that close at the very least. It's a worry I expressed earlier. As the BKBs come out, Enigma now has his. We obviously saw that Mushi has his. Magnus has his as well. If they enfeeble the gyro, where's the damage? I mean, yeah, they'll get a little bit of right-click coming out of the silencer. But for the time those BKBs are active, they just have, and it's, again, if the gyro is not hitting hard with flat cannon, that is 10 to 5 seconds, depending on the states of the BKBs, when LGD is just going to have nothing for them.
Well, the real point is that this tower at bottom is really low, and if they march in with using BKB and Manta style before Enfeeble gets to the gyrocopter, they might as well do everything before that stuff happens to the gyrocopter. So it depends how they initiate.
Tier 2 top looks to be the target. They will be able to TP back pretty easily.
Actually, I wanted to say execute. How they execute this.
The execution.
Yes.
And Tier 2 is actually still standing. They have no idea how many members are heading their way. They're going to know now, though, as they see Brax and Misery now down at bottom. They got to decide real quick what they want to do. Yep, there we go. TPs are going to be heading back. They're just going to let Mushi clean this up on his own. God's going to look to land a hook, and they do scythe him, but it's just on the outside. Really beautifully baited. BKB up. He gets the tower. Now he will be able to make it home. Just not enough damage. And that is so sad for God. God hits that hook. That's a dead Mushi. The Scythe of Ice.
He should not have used the cogs. It moved him, and Pycat did not see him. I'm pretty sure that Shadow Fiend would have died. Plus, I think the cogs stopped the teleport. Should not have used cogs.
Very close call for Orange. They do get down to Tier 2, still a Tier 1 standing on the side of LGD International. So 3 towers up, outer tier, I should say, to the 0 of Orange. Orange is yet, though, once again, to show us their real team fight potential.
But right now, LGD is like, okay, BKB is down on SF. We have no other choice but to just ram in right now. That's what they're doing. And Illusion Rune on Gyrocopter. Very good.
Mushi here in mid, 25 seconds until the BKB is back up and active. And using what spam they have to try and buy some time.
And Enfeeble gets placed.
Up, here we go.
20 damage Gyrocopter.
Oh, another good hook gonna land. Calldown's not gonna catch anything. Tier 3 does drop. BKB buys him time. He's gonna go out. He might get everyone. Silence goes off perfectly. Well done by Pycat. Magnus had a chance to catch at least 3 or 4 there.
They gotta take the Rax.
Rax is still up. Here comes Enigma. There's a Malefice, and now here's Mushi. Uses the ulti, cleans one up. He's on the warpath, looking for another kill. Gonna find it. No, not gonna find it because of the Force Staff. And Brax gonna be cleaned up. The Aegis is gonna drop. Let's see how hard they're gonna pursue it. Probably just want to clean him up as soon as he comes back
now
up.
You'll see Brax dealing damage, by the way.
And there goes one. RP got everybody! Absolutely everyone! Magnus missed his opportunity early, but makes up for it with a triple kill. Held onto the RP just long enough. And a big, big turnaround for Orange. The Racks still stand 21-19. And look at that gold graph arcing its way back up. The experience back in their favor. And all of a sudden, LGD, who seem to have this game in hand, may be feeling it slip a little out of their hands.
I don't think they get that their Gyrocopter is dealing 0 damage. I don't think they get it
Yep.
until now, but they should have got it a long time ago that this dude just makes him 7 damage or 20 damage at this point. But still, it's 20 damage. He's not even a hero. He's not in the fight.
Yep.
And it's your main carry basically. Because the Silencer isn't. The Silencer is just there to disrupt Enigma ultimate, SF ultimate, Magnus ultimate. He did really well. And this Magnus had like 400 HP. Trust me, the Gyrocopter, with how much damage he actually has, he has a lot of damage and a good attack speed. He would have flag cannoned him down easily.
Yep.
And a lot of heroes that are going to be behind that stuff. He would have dealt about 800 damage to his flag cannon. But instead, he deals 80.
It kind of comes down to what I was talking about before. I mean, when you have the BKBs up on heroes like Mushi, you have Magnus surviving through being completely caught out by a well-placed hook from God, mostly because of that BKB. Those BKBs go off, and you have your Gyrocopter dealing no damage. There's just no way for LGD to do anything. They couldn't even bring the Racks down. They could have focus fired the Racks for about 2 or 3 seconds because no one was there to really fight. And yeah, the Racks is still in great shape. It's going to be back to full health momentarily as well. So, and that's a big win. I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, keeping your Racks up, not losing a set of Racks at this stage of the game is big. But just being able to win the way they did, a full-out wipe, and they took the Aegis. So that wasn't just a fight that didn't go well for LGD. They lost an Aegis to do that.
Yeah, Brax should have literally... Oh, God damn it. But it is literal. He should have looked where the Bane is. There's no point for you to go into the fight if you're enfeebled. It's
right.
Just like gonna be a lost fight. You're not gonna do anything. This spell, it is true. This spell is a bit too strong that it cannot get purged. Look at mid lane.
And
next time, stun time.
There it is, well chained together. Oh, the BKB, no! Is he gonna make it? Is he? No, he won't. And he actually used the charge on BKB for that. Does he have buyback? Yes, he does if he wants it. In the meantime, we have a little push up at top. Mushi, well, let's see what he wants to do here. The rest of LGD's hanging. Mushi's up there by himself. He will now decide to go ahead and TP back home. And LGD, knowing Magnus is down for 45, they're at least going to force a buyback. You would think it'd be coming right about now. They're
Come on, Brax.
Here we go, moving up. God's there. Magnus does buy back. Now they're going to re-engage. Glyph is up, and look at God just melt that right-click potential. Massive coming out of Mushi. Now the Force Staff. Here comes Bane. Unable to find anyone. Unable to find anyone. He did get it off. I thought he was looking to nightmare someone. Oh, Brax. Yeah, and with that on, he is a range creep. He is doing just about the same amount of damage as Satyr Mindstealer. Satyr Mindstealer is basically what Brax is right now.
It is hugely countering him. And it is true that if this fight at bottom, which they could have actually won, would have went differently if he would not have caught an enfeeble, which he should have done. He should have just seen how... Like, he did this time in the fight. He went totally downstairs of the freaking place and stuff and was totally on the range of like 2k from the Bane.
Right.
But he should have done that earlier, because now it's already maybe too late.
Mushi with the Daedalus in his inventory. Haven't talked a whole lot just because of a lot of the action going on elsewhere about the items. Haven't talked a whole lot about those, I mean. Daedalus now in his inventory. He is hitting for about 370 damage, give or take, when he has Empower on. Freaking insane. And we talked about this 20 minutes ago. We talked about how this was not something LGD wanted to have happen, to let Mushi catch up from going Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade's still good at what it does, but it wasn't an item that was going to make him feel really powerful until this late when he did add some other item. Now with the Daedalus there, though, you're talking the base damage of around 360, 370, then the crit. I mean, again, literally 2 and 3 shotting supports if he gets a good crit. And I'm just really worried for LGD. And I'll tell you what, it breaks my heart because they have played such a good game of Dota, and it feels like they ran and they ran and they ran. And not to say they're out. Still very much an open game that anyone could win. But they had a gigantic head of steam and one enfeeble, one clutch enfeeble, and one bad fight.
It is kind of true that only one enfeeble stopped everything from happening. And he should have taken care of the idea that this is going to happen to me. I'm going to stand really far, and if I'm ever going to go in, it's going to be the 9-10 seconds of BKB that I'm going to be going in with.
Right. Now Orange on the warpath. Those BKBs done on almost everyone. 4 staff on the Nyx Assassin. And looking good. They've got a gem on their Bane as well. Looking to take away any vision they can. Looks like this could be the next point of contention. LGD, are they going to be baited into this? They show their faces at least a little bit. Brax is there, but doesn't. Yeah, they're going to stay back. Very, very smart game since out of LGD knowing there's no way Mushi's just swinging his wang out there in the middle of top lane for no reason.
What I wanted to say also about Mushi is that he is level 21. He's out leveling everybody, but he's 10 levels over the Shadow Demon. He's like 7 levels over the Leshrac. All his teammates are also under-leveled beside him. That means the Magnetar, all of his empowers and stuff, it will give some extra, maybe 10 damage, but this extra 10, 15, 20, or 30 damage that you get is enough to swipe a hero in 2 hits instead of 3.
Exactly. Completely agree. God has completed his Blade Mail, and he did, I mean, he got the point booster up, looked like he was going for an Ags, and maybe realizing that instead this is a much better option, make himself a bit more of a liability in these fights, make it so what we saw happen moments ago when they tried to push the tier 3 for the 3rd time, I think. He just basically, he dropped his cogs, then Shadowfang goes, that's fine, I'm not in the cogs, and right-clicked him 3 times and he died. And we may have an engagement now as both teams showing their faces near these steps just outside the tier 3 bottom. And here we go. Oh, Mushi will end up dropping. No reprisal in the immediate buyback. So that helps make up a little bit of ground.
Almost.
And Mushi, who was sitting atop the net worth, just spent at least a chunk of that getting himself back into the game. Very good pickoff from LGD.
He bought a Yasha, I think, right now.
Yeah, he did.
I think so, yeah. So this is a moment for LGD to realize that if they actually take down SF once more, I think it's going to be a Rax, but definitely 2 Raxes for them. But it's Roshan time.
Roche about to respawn, and I would say this is going to be the first that we see Orange really try to contest. They're going to have to get there quick, though, with the timer dropping.
Wow. Don't think they want to go. But, yeah, they see Mushi bottom, and they're going to be like, yeah, we don't even care.
I'm actually surprised. I mean, when you look at the when you look at Orange's lineup, they have a team that's going to fight really well in the Roche pit. And this is going to be cheese as well. This is Roche number 3.
Well, yeah, but I think they don't want to fight in the Roche pit. I think they think probably that it's completely warded and it's going to be hard to get in there and the global silence is just going to kill us. But they don't want to risk that. They want to risk maybe them getting cocky and going to the woods. As you can see, they're just standing there on the ramp, which teams do very often after killing Roche, and they just run back to the ramp and go bottom and like go for the racks or something like that because it's the easiest maneuver for you to do. But you can't do that against good teams. They will always stand here next to the ramp here, and they will punish you.
Very good insight. And LGD not falling into that trap, instead giving the old loop-de-doop. Looks like they want to head to the top lane. There's a haste rune being eyeballed, at least for the moment. Looks like they want to get that onto the gyrocopter. Nope, never mind. Picked it up. And Silencer moving quite quickly now, poking his nose just south of the Dire Side Secret Shop. Shadow Fiend hitting for close to 400 damage when he is empowered. So, I mean, an absolute monster. They need to bring him down, and they got to do it quick. Still have yet to see the RP Black Hole combination that... I mean, we saw it once very early on, and it was well used. Caught 2 heroes and made a big difference in the early game. But since then, have not really seen the synergy that you would expect.
I think we've only seen 1 black hole in the whole game.
Yeah, I think you're right. In fact, I'm positive you're right. It was just that one that followed the 2-man RP in top lane near the side shop.
But that also means that this game has been completely careful. It has been super careful from LGD. They don't want to go anywhere. Like, they don't want to do the same mistake as they did in the first game.
Right. Totally agree. Nyx Assassin still sitting on just his 4 staff. And I mean, this is one of those games. You have such high value abilities on both sides. When you're talking about RP, Black Hole, the global silence from Silencer, Gyrocopter's ability to get into the thick of things, and with Flat Cannon, Call Down, what have you, just melt people down. BKB's up aplenty on both sides. This is one of those games where literally one mistake, and again, I am puppy today, so literally it is literally could come down to just one mistake, one misplaced or well-placed for that matter in Feeble. One mistiming on the global silence. That really could be the difference here.
I think they're trying to farm up a Divine Rapier on Gyrocopter.
It'd be a good call.
I mean, an 8KB would be also good, but, you know, I think they want to go all in. Maybe. But, you know, the literally word is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like it just flows through your mouth. It has like 2 R's in there or whatever, or 2 L's, and like L's everywhere, R's everywhere. And it's literally, you know, you could say everything about literally. Literally, you literate this oh, Jesus Christ, there's so many things. You can literally literate this litter that I've literated in my literary.
See, that is alliteration. Are you being literal?
Alliteration, literally doing this literally right now.
Are you literally that illiterate that your alliteration is this literally? Could not think of one more word. Damn it. Was trying to do it on the fly. That was good, though. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back there. I'm no puppy, but I'm learning to wield the word. There we go, wield the word. That's a nice little conjunction of words.
Just say penis in the end and everything will be fine.
Oh, I did manage to say
everything
wang.
fucks up, just, you know.
I said wang a second ago. I think that qualifies. Wang, dong, etc. So anyway, guys, enough of our shenanigans. How about I tell you where you can find more about us? You can find me on Twitter if you've enjoyed what you've heard today. You want to keep up with me, I'm AC at AYESEE. And Puppy, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitch TV, Puppy, and Clementinator on Twitter.
That's right. Look the man up. Tweet bad things at him, because that's what we do. He and I just stare at Twitter all day and measure our own self-confidence and self-worth based on that. No joke, though. We do appreciate it whenever you guys have kind words to say. You tweet at us. I love interacting with all of you guys. Even the haters love you guys too, because hey, at least you're watching esports. Anyway, 22-21. In a 46-minute game, the gold almost inconsequential. 46 minutes in, 5,000 gold, that is nothing. Same with the experience. The experience is actually damn near 0. So a very even game that could go either way. If you're right, and they're going for the... I mean, it's possible. They're not far away from it, actually. If they want to get a rapier up, they're only about 1,200 gold away. Not even that now after he melts that creep wave. And it would put them all in. I mean, you go with the rapier, and... Enfeeble's still going to hurt. I mean, Enfeeble's still going to take a lot of that damage away.
I think this time it wouldn't really matter. The Enfeeble, if you get to the point that you're gonna cast Enfeeble in a team fight, I think he will already die.
Right.
That's the whole point. He has only 1,200 HP. That means if Brax is probably gonna get like 500 damage from Divine. No, it's maybe like somewhere less than 450, 500, somewhere in the middle of there. That means 3 hits on the Bane. Just 3 hits.
Another pause from our silencer. Looks like they want to make sure everything... Oh, never mind. Looks like we're going to be back underway. Wrong button. That or somebody slipped out of their chair or something like that. Had to take a text message from the hottie down the street. And if the Rapier is going to be the choice, it's going to be coming right about now.
Tactical pause.
Exactly. Oh, I was supposed to ask you from the viewership. There were 2 questions they asked. They wanted me to ask you. One was when are you gonna pick Pudge again? And there was one more that I want to ask just in case Orange turns this around and manages to win, and we go off the air afterwards. There was that and something else. I can't remember what it was, but I'll let you answer the first while we wait to see what LGD's up to.
I don't know, man. I myself play Butcher sometimes, and when I feel that he's powerful, then I'll start picking him once again. It doesn't really matter what other people say to me because it comes down to what I think in the end. Because I feel that he's a strong hero, but I just can't see how he can take a situation. Like, he's just gonna have this hook for the rest of the game. Yep. No, man, I want a Magnus RP in my team. I don't want a hook.
Right.
I want a Magnus RP.
I'd say that's how a lot of heroes are. It's not so much a question of if the hero is bad, it's what can you have instead of that hero, you know?
Yeah, because, like, look at this Magnus. He just is doing so much for the team. Like, he's giving him power to the SF. And if this Leshrac from Misery will, like, just stand in the middle of some place and SF's just gonna come hit him twice, he's dead.
Right.
Because of the Empower. It all matters.
Completely agree. If I think of that other question, I'll ask you. I know that was one of them, though. So much love to whichever viewer it was that asked that question. And there you go. You got an answer straight from the mouth of Puppy himself. Finally. Yep, Gyro's got 4,800 gold. How long on the Aegis? He's only got 60 seconds left on that Aegis, though. He may just want to get his Rapier up and then bank for buyback, and nope, I don't think
they want to take a fight right now. I think they're gonna wait for the second cheese or something like that. Get the new Rapier Aegis gone.
Oh, the Aegis definitely gonna be gone. He hasn't picked up the Rapier yet, and that would make a ton of sense, obviously, if they're just gonna turtle out another 5 minutes, another 6 minutes or so, and wait on that. No reason to spend your gold at the moment. Yeah, only 30 seconds left.
Wow, look at Pycat's items. He's pretty much got the Refresher Orb.
That is excellent for them, obviously. Magnus is working on one as well. He wasn't too terribly far away from it. And a couple of refreshers. Okay, there's a good question for you, Puppy. Which is more high value here, the refresher on Pycat or the refresher on Mag?
High value? For LGD, it is... In this game, it's much more important for Pycat to get the refresher because I think whatever Orange can deal with or create, they can already create now. They don't need the refresher to do that.
Right. Refresher's just icing on the cake, whereas a refresher on Silencer is like a brand new cake, basically.
Yep.
I got you. Orange looking to make something happen under cover of smoke. They're moving through the Radiant side jungle.
Butterfly.
Will cross the river.
Gyrocopter.
It's a little disappointing. But, I mean,
no, he wants the Divine Rapier. We all know that.
Exactly. Who doesn't want a Rapier? I mean, I don't think there's ever been a time ever in history where a person's like, you know what? I could have a Rapier, and it could help the team, but I don't want it. I don't think that's ever been said.
Boom,
LGD.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's been said.
not in my Puff games, anyway.
It has been said. You know, the world is big, man. Don't think so, man.
You were asking me to keep coincidence in mind, right? Just as if someone even missaid it. If they misspoke, at least it's been said once, right? Manta style, yeah. Now the pickup on Shadow Fiend. So,
doesn't do much. Maybe he can create a weird situation of getting a Hex off the illusion. It's gonna be weird, but I think the Manta style is just there for the split push. Yep, and he's just using it for split push.
Illusion's going to take charge of top. Roche still a few minutes out here. Not super far, though. About 3 minutes, give or take. And LGD. Trying to spam the waves out, keep the wave spam back. Experience still basically negligible at this point, 2,500. The gold has dipped back down in LGD's favor, though. Getting back near 7,500, but again, in a 51-minute game, that's really not that big a margin at this stage. I mean, and really, we've hit that point where outside of buybacks, the game could be decided with 1 more fight or 2 more fights at most.
I like Misery's build. It's like, point booster! Holy lord, I'm farming much Mystic Staff.
Take a look at God. He's got a point booster as well. But yeah, the Misery he's a pretty fat Leshrac. He's got a lot of health for a Leshrac. 1,500 plus the cheese. Got an earn his Mystic Staff, War Staff, you name it. Tread set to strength. And a lot of patience being shown out of both sides. No mistakes being made. Coming out when they can, but not overdoing it. And the refresher again, not super far away on the mag. How's Silencer looking? Silencer has it. So now you reach that point where, I mean, you got to bring him down. I mean, I don't know that they've had a chance to spot it yet either. So if they're unaware,
if they don't RP him or black hole him, I think he's just gonna wreck the whole freaking system.
Yep. Totally agree.
We're gonna have 12 seconds of silence.
Always bothers me as a caster. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever it's an awesome spell effect, the fact that you have the big whoosh and then everything goes quiet, but it's like it makes you realize how much you depend as a broadcaster as well as a player on the sounds you hear around you. Like, it makes you realize that a lot of the stuff I call out whenever I'm broadcasting is based on sound alone because my eyes can't be watching every hero at every fight. And it always bothers me. Always bothers me. Silencer knocking me out of my A game. Orange now crossing the river. Looks like they want to try to make something happen. Roche is going to be back up in about 30, 40 seconds, give or take. LGD's going to actually smoke up. Now let's see how they want to play this. There is no vision near the pit.
Oh, they're going in. They're going in.
Oh, they're going around the back. They have a chance to catch. Oh, they have a chance to catch Mag and Enigma. If they end up going through, are they gonna wait? They're waiting on them to come out. And yeah, we see Orange.
They know they're there because of the rocket. The rocket was sent on the ward. Okay, they're going in. Cogs up.
Oh, there we go. He spots Gyro. Gyro forced back. Here comes the Enigma. Gets some Alephus off. No, the hook doesn't hit anything now. Here they come. Ulti goes off. Silence does go off. They're going to have another one available, but there's the RP. Katu going to be able to skewer them back. Another silence, though. The 2 silences just a bit too much, and Brax able to make it a triple kill. I wouldn't have even known that RP went off if I hadn't caught it out of the corner of my eye, but that's what I'm talking about with the silence. 23-24, LGD gets a big win. Magnus does buy back. Mushi
they all have buyback, by the way, and the black hole is still up. They don't have any global silence. They're just gonna probably make the buybacks happen.
Roche has not been taken. They still have a chance to try and turn it around that way. Brax on the high ground. There's the Enfeeble.
Just 150 damage.
And there's the Impale. Oh, the skewer back! Beautifully timed! Brax, Force Staff not enough to get him out. Disruption buys him some time. Now we have God going toe-to-toe with the Nyx. Gonna have one end up dropping. Brax still up and fighting. Bane eating a lot of damage. Brain Sap not enough. Another buyback. Nyx Assassin wants to get back into this fight. Clockwork is down. The rest of LGD is gonna go ahead and back off. Roche again still available if they want to take a shot, but with everyone on orange up, don't think they can.
I don't think it was worth it. They made the buybacks come out, but this time they don't have the global, and they could have gotten the Roshan cheese, but now I don't think Orange care. They're just going to go in. They know they have black hole. They know that the RP is going to be up in 20 seconds. This is going to be very, very cost-effective push for them. Let's see how it happens, because they need to fight this. They can't let this just go away.
Yep. Totally agree. Getting an Aegis on Mushi, not something that can be... I mean, just look how quickly he's melting him down.
It's done.
Yeah, even if they came now. I mean, Pycat's still 45 seconds away from having his global silence. TP will arrive. Maybe they'll try to do something cute. Nope, doesn't look like it. Down it goes. Mushi picks it up. Cheese. Up. Hang on. Let's see. Cheese on Nyx Assassin this time.
I don't know why they did this. LGD, they could have forced out the buybacks. They did force out the Enigma buyback, but I think they did not remember the things that they called out in 10 minutes of the game. What I mean is that you know why they started farming up demon edges and refreshers on silencer, and they didn't really want to kill them anymore, is because they understood that this SF is pretty much maxed out.
Yep.
He's maxed out. There's nothing more that he can get. He can swap the freaking power treads to boots of travels. That's going to hurt him much more, I think. And the age is going to be some new butterfly. They don't care about that. They should have just went for the Roshan. It doesn't matter if he has money or not.
Right.
But now they're in a position where they could have actually gotten this Aegis and gotten it with a Divine Rapier.
Well, Gyrocopter is the only one with buyback remaining. And LGD still looking strong, but the game definitely taking a turn with that Aegis going on to Orange. Now, if you're in Orange's shoes, you've got this Aegis. Do you just use this Aegis to take little pokes out, or do you go ahead and go for like a big-time smoke?
What, you mean Orange?
Yeah, like if you're in Orange's shoes, you've got a fresh Aegis. Like right now, I would call this a small poke out. You know, they're not investing that much. They're moving out relatively safely. Do you just
I don't
smoke
think
up?
I don't think there's no way that they can run into LGD. I think it's going to be a loss instantly, because if this global is going to be pulled out and Silence is just going to stay on the periphery and just stand there and doesn't care, and he's going to refresh your global silence once again when the black hole gets hit or the RP, it's going to be very crucial. And if they lose the SF, it's going to be like, it doesn't really matter. SF has so much money. He can lose all the items that he has right now, pretty much buy new ones. Incoming! Sooner or later.
If they are going to smoke, this is what I was wondering. If they just poke out.
They should do something. They should do something, but I think they must execute it perfectly.
Oh.
They see the Narup.
And, oh no!
Pycat. What a nice item.
Very nice. Very well done. And LGD getting bailed out a bit there. God, I thought for sure he was dead to rights whenever he wandered up those steps.
To have a blink dagger or to have buyback, you know, whatever floats your boat.
58 minutes in, we're just about to eclipse the hour mark in this game, showing no signs of slowing down. 24 to 25. Seems like almost all of those kills took place like at the 30-minute mark or before 30 minutes, and it got quiet all of a sudden. And Mushi, swinging from the shoelaces, doing a lot of damage. He's max level at 25. He's hitting for just about 430 damage. Taking a look at Brax. Brax has a pretty full inventory himself. Not quite in that range, though. He's close, but not quite. Oh, now here we go. Woohoo, misses on the reverse, or on the skewer back. Mushi will be forced staff back. So, still one outer tier tower remaining. That will be bottom. They get that one for free. The Aegis, how much time does it have left? It's going to have about another 3 minutes. If they want to do something and take a shot at a Rax, now's their time.
Yeah, I think they really needed this Divine Rapier. It's the only way for them to start, you know, feeling the power of the whole game. Because there's no real way to kill the Gyrocopter. They don't really have the damage to kill him. And the disruption lets him not die. Plus, so many factors that are in this game right now. The Clockwork Hook Shot, the Silence Global twice, plus double Hex. Remember that always. It's Silencer with double Hex. And the Hex from the Leshrac and the Falstaffs that they have, it's going to be very hard to kill a Gyrocopter. And if they would have had the Divine Aegis, it would have been a different game. But now they're probably going to have to wait for the second Aegis. But they don't have item slots anymore on the Gyrocopter.
Yep.
They just, I don't know, he must sell his power trade or something like that, which I've seen happen.
Brax, living large. He's level 25 as well. That Aegis will be dropping very, very soon. 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, and LGD already getting into position for when it does. Obviously not going to engage in. If they can, the 2 buybacks available, Shadow Fiend plus the Gyro. We take a look at our net worth. We can see Shadow Fiend is at the top, Gyro right behind him though. Just about 1,500 gold separating the two. The levels, maxed out on those two. Looks like LGD's actually in the better shape level-wise across the board, though. You have Magnus at 19, 18, 17 on God and on Misery. Then you have 15, 15, 14 on the 3 main supports on the side of Orange. And all of these inventories beginning to fill up. I like the Ghost Scepter pickup on Shadow Demon. Give him a little extra survivability, buy him some time to help Brax out even more.
Well, for now, it seems like I was thinking like the supports of Orange will die really fast, but now I can look at their heroes that Enigma is probably going to go in last, and the Bane Elemental has Gold Scepter. Super good item against Gyrocopter. If you can like understand that he's going to do the 6 hits out of the Flag Cannon, you just use Gold Scepter at that time. And the Ghost duration is 4 seconds, enough for the Flag Cannon to use 6 attacks. And if you can do something in this 20 seconds, the flag cannon is not on cooldown, which I mean, then you can do everything that you need.
The experience very sharply now in favor of LGD, but even at this stage, 62 minutes in, that's just not as big a factor as things like buyback, Roche timing, Aegises. That Aegis will be fading right about now. Yep, it'll be fading in just about 5-10 seconds. So Mushi getting some use out of it, but not as much as I think he would have liked. In the meantime, LGD well aware of the timing, moving their way down the bottom lane.
Well aware of the timing, and I think they're going to prepare this big fight, because this is the fight they're looking for.
Likely to be. I won't say likely to be one of our final fights. Lot likely to be decided by this fight. We'll put it that way. We'll see.
They actually want to wait for the next Roshan.
One of the longer games I broadcasted in a long time. I want to say this is only the third game that has eclipsed 60 minutes that I broadcasted in the last 3 months, that I broadcasted since the International, basically. And an absolute slugfest, man. And again, maybe it's just me, but it was 24-25. Seems like it was like 22-21 at like 28 minutes into the game, and the last 30 minutes have been really quiet by comparison.
Yes, they have. Well, there were some bottom fights and stuff, but that was like 20 minutes ago, that's true.
Almost the refresher up on Magnus now. Back to the buyback status. Magnus likely, I mean, at this point, everyone should be banking for buyback, especially if you're Orange, knowing you're likely to be pushed into. Now, this next Roche fight, is this a fight? We've seen Orange not really contest. I mean, they got that last Roche, they got the 4th Roche. But now with the 5th Roche on its way up, do you contest this, or do you just let it go like you did most of the others?
I don't know, the last time they tried to contest it, it didn't work out for them. I think it's not going to work out for them once again. They need to get a pick off before, but most of the heroes are going to have a buyback, I think. The only problem I see in Orange is that they really have these heroes that are not farming. This Bane Elemental, if you remove this Ghost Scepter, what items does he really have?
Right.
Because this gem that he has in his inventory, it's not his. He stole it. We can see your jewelry, man. It's stolen.
He's a gutter snipe. Pickpocketing 1437. But 63-30. Roche back up in about 2 minutes. Yep, exactly 2 minutes as we see it. Give us a nice little visual effect there. But Orange forcing their way onto the enemy side of the map. Now, I love this out of them, and this tells me they do want to fight at Roche. I was thinking if they wanted to contest Roche at all, they had to get on the enemy side of the map before Roche spawned. They had to be in a position where they could somehow try to channel LGD's movements and be able to predict where they're going to be. That way they have an optimum angle of approach as well. And now making their way in, they forced LGD all the way back to their tier 3. This is a fight they can actually have a chance to contest and not be taking as big a chance as I think they did earlier.
Wait.
Said everybody. There's an echo.
Said everybody.
There's an echo. Anyway, guys, while we're waiting at the behest of 3 players from Orange and 1 from LGD, I want to once again thank you for joining us for this broadcast. 63 minutes, 50 seconds. We're into this game. Been quite a long game, too. May still have a game 3 ahead of us, depending on who comes out ahead. Hope you've enjoyed your time here. Would love it if you'd hit follow here on One More Game TV, too. You can find us both on Twitter as well. I'm at AC, and he is at Clementinator. Look us up. Puppy, of course, probably has a few fans in the house, if I had to guess. See, this is one of those moments where I wish I had a live audience in front of his puppy. That way I could say that. Then you'd hear, whoa, and people, you know, girls would start flashing you and throwing panties on stage. You know, that's why I miss commentating live. That's why I miss working in front of a live audience, just so I can point at you and everyone goes crazy.
Yeah, live audience would be a cool thing. I mean, what are we really here? We're entertainers, aren't we? And entertainers need a live audience.
Exactly, man. You got to feed on that energy.
When I would say this already, like, we need a live audience, we would already have...
Exactly. See, dude, we have got to get on stage together. Already, I can just feel it. This is only our second broadcast together, on the same page, talking the same language, using literally a lot, because we're literally minded people. It's going to work. It's going to work. Sometime soon, we will make it happen. For now, though, Orange, moving over to the dire side secret shop, cutting off this avenue of approach. Now, this is a bad situation for LGD to be in. And if they can get comfortable and get some vision down, they're actually going to TP away. That actually...
Of course, they have a big lane pushing bottom, and if the SF would not have come there, the racks would actually fall.
Bushi heads back. That opens things up for LGD, and they're quite happy to have a method.
They are.
to get down in there. And I honestly, that was a beautiful maneuver by Orange. They'd had themselves in a great situation and had to sacrifice it to save the bottom lane.
See, now I'm wondering what the hell is this Scarcopter going to do with his money, because he actually has money for Divine Rapier, but what item should he actually drop for that? Because Aegis and Divine Rapier is pretty much the perfect combination for the Zero. And it is too strong in my opinion. The Divine Rapier makes the Zero a way too strong, but I mean, if you have the chance to use it while it lasts.
At this point, do you consider maybe the BKB? I mean, you're going to have an Aegis and you have a Rapier. So does BKB really matter that much whenever you can just hang around the back and rely on the respawn on the Aegis?
I think during the silence and how this game is going, and most of the heroes using BKBs to get out of the silence, I am sure that the BKB will be maybe, I don't know, it's theoretically useless, but it isn't. If the Shadow Fiend gets out the ultimate and kills him with it, then it's going to be really strong. But I don't think he uses his ultimate much
I'm talking
anymore.
about Brax, you know, talking about what item.
Yes. Yep. But he's going to get melted. Oh, wow. This Aegis is just, wow.
Orange in the pit.
Jump in, Clockwork. Oh, wow.
Orange forced out. There we go. They're going to catch two. He got two of them. Now they're going to try to follow it up. Cooldown's going to be there. There's the silence. BKBs are already activated. And the Magnus manages the BKB and get off an RP. Down goes Brax. Down goes Brax. Down goes Mushi. One on each side, buying back. The Enigma is out of the fight as well. Both teams falling back to their respective corners with the RP spent. And still no pressure.
Pikecat has used Refresher. He thought that they were going to go pull back into or something like that. I don't know why he used it, but he did use it.
And he's going to sell a Manta style. There's the Rapier. There's our Rapier. And Misery going to take the cheese.
Probably use it.
Ready to roll. All right.
He's probably going to use it.
Enigma back up in 22 seconds. Things looking rather dire, rather grim for the Radiant side. Orange. Perhaps on their last legs. They have a naked Rax down at bottom. Now the Divine Rapier plus the Aegis up on Brax.
I don't think LGD want to push, but they might they might actually get the map control a little bit and wait for the Refresher. Because, I mean, I don't think they want to go in. They really want this Refresher to work out for them.
Find out. Refresher's cooldown currently at 102 seconds, so approximately 1 minute 40 seconds if they do want to wait on that.
Most important thing is what they know is that this SF VKB lasts 5 seconds and SF does not have buyback. And he's the only damage dealer right now. So if they can think about this and somehow get this SF out of the game, it's pretty much their game.
Just about back to max stacks on Necromastery following his death. And LGD looking to close this out and force a game 3. The only 3 buybacks available, one belonging to Silencer. Magnus and Lesh can both buy back.
Yeah, I think they're going to wait 60 seconds, or maybe not. No, they're not.
Oh, wow! The BKB prevents the skewer. Brax just man-moding, and now the counter hook. God going to be locking himself in. He's going to be blown up. Mech gets him back into fighting shape. BKB up on Mushi. The Rack still stand. Now they're going to go down. The Enfeeble not reducing as much damage, certainly making it a little bit harder, but they do get the melee racks. They get what they came for and immediately pull back. Now, God, very low health, has some cheese if they want to try and fight again.
Yeah, they did give him the cheese, and maybe Orange. Maybe they thought Orange were gonna go in front and think Clockwork's really low HP, but not. It's not Orange. That's not what they're gonna do. But Refresh is soon up. And I'm not sure if G will go to the base. I think he needs to use this cheese. Or maybe find a region room. But there is none.
Finally, we see our first set of racks drop at 67-ish, 68-ish minutes into the game. And LGD pushing in mid. Now going to bounce up to top. Just going to go ahead and split push, it would seem. Split push, slow push this top lane. Aegis still has quite a bit of time on it. Still, yeah, about 3-4 minutes, if not even more. So they have the freedom to play kind of balls out here, and I begin to believe this game may have gotten away from Orange, and we may end up going to a game 3.
We might. Let's not say anything before we see an RP in Black Hole, because we haven't seen a Black Hole yet.
Exactly, we saw one. We could have played 3 games in the time that it took us to see one Black Hole this game. 70 minutes in, and poor Enigma has just been a non-factor for the last probably 40 of those minutes at the very least. LGD rattling their saber in this top lane. The tier 3 is down to about half. Brack still enfeebled, but not the biggest.
You gotta remember, Aegis is running out of time. They already used the halftime.
Yep. So the clock is on. And yeah, the Aegis has about 2 minutes left. About 2 minutes. They need to make something happen right now. And there we go. They're going to go for it. BKB's up. There's going to be a hook that flies right past. Magnus is going to not be able to find a target. Mushi going blow for blow with Brax, but that's it.
No buyback for Mushi.
Yep.
Let's see how this goes.
Magnus was caught out in no man's land. We're going to see Enigma cleaned up.
Still global silence.
Yep. GG's come out. We're going to a game 3, puppy. GG's.
We're going to a game 3. And LGD International played so good in the middle of the game. I think they made some mistakes on the 45-minute, but they still got away with the Divine Raid for Gyrocopter, which I think is very strong, but still use it if it's there.
Yeah, I honestly, this was a very grinded, this is what I would label a grinded out kind of a game. We had a lot of action early. We had to have had 40 kills on the board at 30 minutes. Had to have had. And then we wind up with only 57 in a 70-minute game. So it just hit this point where both teams were grinding against each other, trying to outposition each other. And LGD gaining momentum, peaking at the right time, and making it happen. Here comes Magnus. But we will see the ancient blow.
They took a game from Orange.
It's about time. It's about that they finally snapped their skid against Orange. Orange had won 6 consecutive games against LGD International, stretching back through March. And in a almost 71-minute slugfest, LGD International finally able to get the Albatross out from under their neck, or out from around their neck, I should say, and hang a big old L on the forehead of Orange Esports. I'm EC, joined by Puppy of Na'Vi fame. Hope you guys are enjoying your time here on One More Game TV2. Game 3 of this best of 3 here at the G-1 Champions League Season 5 Asia Qualifier Phase number 3. Going to be heading your way next. Hold on. We'll be right